Amazon calls itself an online shopping company. But the truth is stranger. Shopping is actually Amazon's least profitable business. The division that powers nearly all of Amazon's profits isn't retail, isn't Prime, and isn't advertising. It's AWS, the cloud engine quietly funding the entire Amazon empire. People think Amazon is a retail company. A massive one, yes, the world's largest online retailer. But retail is a brutal business. Margins are tiny, operating costs are enormous, and building a global logistics network burns cash faster than it can be delivered. From 2014 to 2022, Amazon's North American retail division generated trillions in revenue, but produced razor-thin profit margins, often below 3%. Its international retail division, consistently loss-making. Yet during those same years, Amazon reported strong overall profits. So, where did the money come from? AWS wasn't part of Amazon's original plan. It emerged from a simple internal problem. Amazon's engineers were spending too much time building tools unrelated to retail, storage, computing, databases, queuing systems. Every team was reinventing the wheel. In 2003, Amazon executives had an idea. What if we turned all this internal infrastructure into products? By 2006, AWS launched with just a few services, S3 for storage and EC2 for virtual computing. Nobody realized it yet, but Amazon had just created the foundation of the modern internet. When AWS launched, most companies ran their own data centers, buying racks of servers, paying for cooling, hiring administrators. It was expensive and slow. AWS changed everything with one idea: rent computing power like electricity. Pay only for what you use. Suddenly, a startup could launch without owning servers. A global corporation could migrate instantly. Entire industries could scale overnight. By 2015, AWS revenue hit $7.9 billion. By 2020, it reached $45 billion. Today, AWS is on track to exceed $100 billion annually. And more importantly, it dominates the market with a roughly 30% share. AWS didn't just grow fast, it became the default infrastructure of the internet. Here's where the story becomes striking. For years, AWS contributed less than 15% of Amazon's total revenue, but over 100% of Amazon's operating income. Meaning, without AWS, Amazon would have been barely profitable or even unprofitable for most of its life. In 2021, retail and international operations produced an operating loss. AWS produced $18.5 billion in operating profit. AWS wasn't supporting Amazon, it was funding Amazon. Everything consumers think of as Amazon innovation: fast delivery, Prime Video, Alexa, the global logistics network, was subsidized by cloud computing profits. Amazon didn't build AWS to support its retail business, but AWS ended up supporting the entire Amazon empire. Cloud computing is one of the best business models ever created. AWS operates at margins north of 25 to 30%. Retail operates at 1 to 3%. Once a company builds on AWS, switching is costly and complex, a moat built on technical inertia. More customers create more services, creating a richer ecosystem, making AWS even harder to leave. The bigger AWS gets, the cheaper it becomes to operate. Small rivals simply cannot compete with its purchasing power or global footprint. AWS isn't just a cloud provider. It's the backbone of thousands of companies. AWS may have been first, but competition intensified. Microsoft Azure leveraged Microsoft's enterprise relationships. Google Cloud leaned into analytics and AI. Today, AWS leads in scale. Azure leads in enterprise growth. Google leads in data and AI tools. But the war isn't slowing down. Cloud is still in its early innings. Most global businesses haven't fully migrated. The more AWS grows, the more Amazon depends on it. Investors know it. Competitors know it. Regulators know it. If AWS growth stalls or margins fall, Amazon's entire financial architecture changes. Retail alone cannot sustain Amazon's valuation. Advertising is growing fast, but still not enough. Amazon's future is tied to AWS more than any other business. Your side project might become your main business. AWS started as an internal tooling decision. Infrastructure beats products. Owning the foundation is more powerful than owning the storefront. High-margin businesses can subsidize innovation elsewhere. AWS funded everything Amazon built. The best moats come from being early and scaling fast. AWS's lead from 2006 to 2013 is still paying dividends today. Amazon isn't a retailer that happens to run a cloud business. It's a cloud company that happens to run a retail business. And AWS, once a side project, became one of the most profitable and important technologies in the world. This is Biz Decoded. Like and subscribe for more videos like this.